The bourbon glass shook in my grip, amber liquid catching the chandelier's faint shimmer as laughter erupted around me. My wife, Elise, leaned in close to him, a slick-haired colleague named Marcus. Her voice cut through the din of the party, like a sharpened blade, low and playful. "Oh, Marcus, you're impossible," she purred, her fingertips brushing his arm, her lips curling into a smile I hadn't seen directed at me in months. And then, as if I didn't exist, as if I were a ghost haunting my own marriage, she glanced toward me and said, "Don't mind my roommate over there." The word hit like a punch to the ribs. The room tilted. The chatter, the clinking of glasses, all of it dulled into static. Roommate, after 8 years of marriage, after 2 miscarriages, after a mortgage that bled us dry. My chest constricted, but I forced a smile, the kind that hides a scream. The party buzzed on, glamorous and glittering, packed with Elisa's colleagues from the law firm. Crystal flutes gleamed on trays, the air perfumed with jasmine and smoked salmon canapes. Hours earlier, I'd staged everything. The lighting, the spread, the music, playing the doting husband while Elise glided through the crowd radiant in her emerald gown. Now, rooted by the fireplace, I felt like an intruder in my own home. Marcus chuckled at something she whispered, his hand resting at the small of her back. My mind raced. Was I imagining the intimacy? The way her eyes sparkled for him, unguarded, alive, while mine only heard a dismissive remark. I lifted the bourbon again, the burn anchoring me as I scanned the room for an answer I wasn't sure I wanted. Elise had been pulling away for weeks, maybe months, late nights, her phone angled just beyond my sight, a new perfume I didn't recognize. I chalked it all up to stress, to the heavy case she was working, to the grief we still carried. But doubt gnawed at me, splinters under the skin. I remembered the text I glimpsed just last week, Marcus's name flashing on her screen before she snatched it away. Just work, she'd snapped, too sharp. I nodded then, swallowing the unease, convincing myself trust was love, or maybe denial disguised as loyalty. The room blurred as I drifted through the crowd, voices around me reduced to a meaningless hum. My eyes found her again. Elise glowed, her laughter a melody that once belonged to me. Marcus leaned closer, whispered something, and she tipped her head back, throat exposed, laughter spilling out. Longing twisted into rage inside me. I wanted to march over, demand the truth, but my feet stayed planted, heavy with fear of what I might confirm. Instead, I slipped into the kitchen. The rattle of dishes masked my turmoil. At the sink, our neighbor Sarah rinsed glasses, her gaze soft with pity. "You okay, Tom?" she asked quietly. I nodded, but she looked at me like she could see the crack, splitting me apart. The night dragged like a blade against skin. Elisa's hand on Marcus's shoulder. His smug smile as he poured her another glass. Her deliberate refusal to meet my eyes. By the window, I pressed my palm to the cold glass, staring out at the snow-laced street. Our street, our life. Was it all an illusion? Every memory replayed in my head. The night she stopped kissing me goodnight. The excuses for late hours. Her laughter that felt rehearsed. But then I thought of her sobbing in my arms after the second miscarriage, whispering, "We'll get through this, Tom." Was that gone now? I couldn't stand it anymore. Upstairs, the noise of the party faded with each creak of the steps. On the dresser, her phone glowed like it had been waiting for me. My hand shook as I picked it up. Her password was still our anniversary, 0608. The familiarity stung. I unlocked it. The truth spilled out in messages stretching back months. "Marcus, miss you already." Her reply, "Last night was incredible." My legs buckled and I collapsed onto the bed. The phone burned in my palm as I scrolled through photos, hotel receipts, promises whispered in secret. Each word carved away the life I thought we shared. Below, the party's laughter drifted up, mocking. Part of me wanted to believe it was a mistake, that she was lonely, that I had failed her. But deep down I knew this wasn't an accident. She had chosen it, chosen him. The woman who once promised me forever had reduced me to a roommate in front of strangers. I looked into the mirror across the room, my reflection pale, hollow-eyed, unrecognizable. I could storm downstairs, expose her lies, make a scene. But that felt cheap, temporary. Instead, I grabbed a duffel bag and began to pack. Shirt, socks, toothbrush. Each item folded into the bag felt like a quiet act of rebellion. On the nightstand sat a photo, our honeymoon, the two of us laughing in the rain. I left it behind, face up, a reminder of what she had destroyed. Downstairs, the party had thinned out. Guests trickled into the snow, coats pulled tight. Elise stood at the door, radiant still, saying goodbyes. Marcus was gone. She didn't notice me until I was halfway out, bag slung over my shoulder. "Tom," she called, confusion threading through her voice. Maybe fear. I turned. For the first time that night, I met her eyes. They were wide, searching, and behind them, guilt flickered like a shadow she couldn't conceal. "Where are you going?" she asked softly, almost pleading as she stepped toward me. The house was quiet now, just a faint hum of the heater. I could have thrown her phone at her, demanded the truth. I could have screamed, but I didn't. I wanted her to feel the weight of my silence, the emptiness she had created. "Somewhere I'm not just a roommate," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Her face crumpled, and for a moment, I saw the woman I had once loved, the woman who swore forever. But then I remembered the messages, the laughter meant for someone else, the betrayal threaded through every word. I turned and walked out into the snow. The cold stung my skin, the streetlights blurring through tears I refused to shed. I didn't look back, but I heard her voice calling my name, desperate, swallowed by the night. The duffel strap cut into my shoulder, heavy, but not as heavy as my heart. I had given her everything. She traded it for whispers in hotel rooms. As I disappeared into the darkness, I left her behind with what she had made. A hollow house, an empty bed, and the silence of truth she could never escape.